Welcome back to NewsWire here on SportsGrid. Each and every Monday, we have Adam Caplan, our SportsGrid Insider, here on NewsWire to go over the results from the weekend and, some news updates, injury stuff, a lot going on this early in the NFL. It does feel like more, Adam, this year. Maybe we say this every year, but it does feel like more significant injury talk, more significant stories coming out of the first couple of weeks from the Dolphins, now the Chiefs. We've got a big one, maybe Minnesota, the Rams, a couple of injuries too. So there's just a lot to dive into, and we don't have a lot of time, so let's get into it. Great rivalry between these two teams, Kansas City, Cincinnati. If lessons should be learned, it should be just take the points wherever you're getting them, because this game is like Baltimore and Pittsburgh. It comes right down to the wire. Last play of the game, there was a somewhat of a controversial penalty call, but if you go back and watch, there was a penalty committed. Butker kicks a field goal to win. So I know everyone is indicting the Bengals right now, but I am not. In fact, if I had to buy a team low right now, I think it'd be them.
Yeah, definitely. And by the way, that division, Craig, AFC North is up for grabs. I mean, who knew Baltimore would be 0-2? I covered this business 26 years, and there are always surprises. I did not see the Ravens being 0-2, but getting back to this game specifically, in that team, the Bengals playing out of the AFC North, look, their week one was pitiful, embarrassing at home. You have the specter of the Jamar Chase contract, whether you're going to get it or not. He's not getting it. They were in a bad way. Their timing was off. Look, Joe Burrow was better this past game again in KC. And you've touched on this. There's something about this rivalry. No matter where the teams are, they bring their game up a next level. It was an amazing game for a week 2 game. Just not what I was expecting based on the way that the Bengals played. In fact, I do radio every Thursday in Kansas City. And I was like, well, guys, I don't think T. Higgins is going to play. He didn't. They had a bad week 1. They're mentally. I wish they were playing this game late in the season. Who knew, Craig? I mean, this is the beauty. This is why we love the NFL. You never know what's going to happen. And the other thing is the league loves what they call competitive balance. We certainly had that in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, honestly, it is hard as a bettor to lay any points right now in the NFL. I mean, you're literally getting a touchdown. These teams win outright, let alone getting points. Real quick on the Chiefs here, with the news that Isaiah Pacheco is going to injured reserve, the backup is like a fullback. Samaje Perine is sort of like, they got him at the last minute there. I mean, I guess they could grab McKinnon or somebody else if they wanted to. I know Edwards-Helaire is on IR also with the PTSD. Do you think the Chiefs do anything here? Do they just bring Helaire back in a few weeks?
They're going to have to do something because Pacheco is their starting running back. Okay, he doesn't need to be a 3-down back. That's why they have Samaje Perine to help them on 3rd down. But they're going to have to do something now. Generic Prince, that's the guy Carson Steele beat out. So look, Generic Prince is on another team's practice squad. They could bring him back, but they need an upgrade. They're going to have to look at waiver wire. I'd expect Brett Veach to work out some running backs this week. Usually Tuesday's the workout day. And they'll figure it out. They have to have a running game. There's no question about it. The Edwards-Helaire thing is, as you mentioned, that there's nothing they could do about that. Right. There's not much out there. They're in a tough spot right now. Once we start the season, teams are trying to figure out what their depth looks like. And this is a big blow to them. And let's face it, the Chiefs barely won that game. They're not going to have Hollywood Brown this season, who had that significant clavicle injury. That anytime you're in the sterno area here, and then he has to have something done. It's not good. So they didn't look good. I give them credit. The Chiefs found a way to win. It was not easy for them to get that job done. But look, they got that job done. One of only 5 teams in the AFC to be undefeated right now.
Yeah, it's an incredible stat considering how they've played, as you mentioned. The Ravens, and I was very fortunate to be able to watch a lot yesterday, Adam, and I was watching this game with the Raiders and Ravens and was like, okay, I don't know if the Ravens are going to cover this game, but they're going to win. I mean, they just took their foot completely off the pedal offensively, unlike Harbaugh, in a very big way. I couldn't understand it. And then Minshew Mania ran wild. Truthfully, Devontae Adams made some insane catches to keep that game going. But no excuse for them to lose at home. And maybe we should just simply be giving credit to the Raiders for fighting through that.
Because when they were down 10, I was like, okay, here we go. The usual put away for the Ravens. It's what we thought it would be. And they choked the game. Their offense struggled. They're still not there with the Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry run game. Craig, I'm a little surprised by this. I know it's only 2 games. We're going to give it more time here. but I'm a little bit surprised that they have not had the kind of impact that I saw in training camp when I was with the Ravens. We're expecting that to happen at some point. Look, they have a new defensive coordinator, Zach Gore, at 32 years old, the youngest defensive coordinator in the National Football League. We need to give him time. It's not like they're playing badly, but you would expect them to win a game like that at home. And one thing you mentioned, I do want to touch on here about picking games and so forth. I've told Scott Farrell this for 4 years now. You have to understand in the regular season, it's injuries, it's how motivated a club is to win a game. Yes, every team wants to win, but there's a mindset of once you get to the playoffs, you could be eliminated. It's just a different mindset where it's clearly about matchups. Where I like the coaching staff, I like obviously like a team's roster. Here there's so many variables when you're trying to pick games. I agree with you, man. It is really, really difficult because sometimes it looks really easy. It's actually very, very difficult.
Yeah, and Adam, I mean, think about it. If your name is not Carolina, outside of maybe the very bottom of the NFL, outside of that, 11 on 11, is there really that big of a difference between the players on these teams? Maybe 1 or 2 each side. So if that's the case and the line is +7 or +8 or +10, I don't know how you just immediately don't say, you know what? Let me take the points here because there's a shot. I mean, outside of, again, the very bottom teams in the NFL, speaking of which, Carolina is not going to win that division. Saints +125, Bucks +175. Those teams are both 2-0. Atlanta, I mean, who knows? Honestly, they could win tonight against Philadelphia. I'm not going to rule anything out in these crazy games. But it definitely seems to me that the Saints and the Bucks have been, you start off 2-0, you got a really good shot to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised at the Saints. I'm not with the Bucks. I did pick them to win a division when Farrell and I gave our on coast to coast. We gave our divisional picks. He and I saw it the same way. We thought the Falcons were overhyped. They got to get through their situations there, Atlanta, with their new scheme. But remember now for Philly tonight, and you talk about the spread 6.5. No A.J. Brown for the Eagles tonight. That is absolutely huge.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you can lay points right now in the NFL. Thanks again, Adam, for coming on. Appreciate it.
You got it.